A gorgeous spring day here in the capital city. Good evening, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan.
And I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse.
And Sarah, it was warm today, but not as warm it's been since like Wednesday and Thursday, where we were in the 80s.
Yeah, I was actually liking it today. It wasn't too bad. Unless you were walking far to your classes, then you were probably feeling the effects of the heat and sweating. But overall, it was a pretty nice day.
Yeah, pretty nice out there. Just the only thing you have to worry about is the pollen. It's still that time of the year with the pollen up in the air. But it's very nice out there, but it's going to change as we head into the end of the week. Every Sunday we get rain somehow.
Yeah, we're going to see rain again. It's not going to be as severe. We're not going to see severe weather coming our way to the weekend, but we will be seeing a good amount of rain onto Sunday evening and also probably into the morning time when you're heading out to your classes.
Yeah, it's looking like it could be a good soaking. Remember, some of our viewing places here, like Valdosta, they're in a moderate to severe drought, so it's good rain for some of our folks here in the Tallahassee region. But the severe weather is looking low for this.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll have that further forecast for you up to date in the show. We'll also have our trivia trivia answer, and you're going to be talking about events with Margaret.
Yep, we have a lot of events. We have Relay for Life just starting right now. That's going to be going on through the night. So a big event here at FSU.
Yeah.
But for now, let's send it out to the wall with Parker.
Yeah, thanks guys. So we're going to look at Doak Campbell right now with our FSU weather stem. As you can see, there's a few clouds in the area right now. Bright, sunny sky outside. Beautiful day we had today, as Sarah and Michael were saying earlier. Temperatures persisted throughout the 70s, maybe reached the 80s. But right now, our highs were 77 for Tallahassee. Our hot spot was Perry down here at 78. So much of the Big Bend region, mid to upper 70s. And if we look at the winds, they're coming out of the east, 8 miles per hour in Tallahassee. We do see this clockwise rotation right here because of this high pressure system that's just off of our coast. So winds coming out of the east, Tallahassee, with 8 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, Tallahassee, 57 degrees. St. Mark's down here at 58, and Apalachicola down over here at 60 degrees. Much of the Big Bend region is going to be nice and cool tonight, so go out and enjoy that weather. Make sure you do that because it's going to be really nice temperatures. So later this show, we're going to be talking about how it's going to be really warm and sunny tomorrow, nice days, and how we do have a possibility of rain on Sunday carrying on over into Monday. But after that frontal system comes through with that rain on Sunday and Monday, we will have a beautiful rest of the week ahead with a high pressure system moving in, sunny and clear skies with a few clouds in the area. So we're going to send things over to Sarah right now in the lab.
Thanks, Parker. So if you were to stay tuned on the Thursday show, we had this question, which was, what's the record high temperature in Tallahassee for the month of April? Which is a really good question to ask since we've really been seeing some pretty high temperatures. We were hitting 88 earlier, like 2 days ago. So if you did the poll, go on Twitter. If you did the poll, the answer is, and drum roll, 95. So that's actually pretty high for the month of April, 95. So if you answered 95, you are correct. And an interesting fact, Tallahassee has reported the high of 95 in April in 1942, 1968, 1999, and the most recently in 2012. But we won't really be seeing those high temperatures. We won't be seeing the high 80s later in the week. We'll get that forecast for you. So pretty much going to be in the low 80s, maybe low 70s. So luckily we won't be hitting that 95 mark. But for now, I'm going to send it over to Michael at the wall with our first local of Tallahassee.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm glad it's not 95 degrees in April for this April. It was much cooler today. 77 was our high for today. We have that east wind now, so that's what's going to keep the cloud cover here for tomorrow. We'll get into that in just a bit. Again, our high was 77. Cooler up towards Bainbridge and Thomasville was 75 and 73. And we didn't have much of a sea breeze today, 75 down towards Apalachicola. Again, because of that weak front moving through, that's why our temperatures went down just a slight bit as we headed into today. Now, the winds, again, we're having the winds come from the east and the northeast. That's why it was slightly cooler today than these last few days. We were not in the 80s today. So that's why we had some cooler air for today. Now, Futurecast shows you how we have that weak front. It's basically stalled out in central Florida. But watch what happens to this front. It starts to come back up as a warm front for this next system right here. That is the system that's going to give us a lot of rain as we head into Sunday afternoon into early Monday morning. And it will give a lot of rain for the southeast. You can see the low pressure system circulating right up towards Little Rock. And again, this is going to be a real good rainmaker for a lot of the southeast as we head into the weekend. For tonight, though, it's going to be a perfect night. Again, Relay for Night is happening tonight, so the whole night it's going to be not as chilly as last year, thank God. 54 degrees will be our low, and we'll have that east wind, very light, though, at 5 miles per hour. This is what I was talking about. It's going to be a good rainmaker, this cold front, moving to the southeast. We're expecting 1 inch to 2 inches of rain for the Mississippi Valley. And then as it heads up towards Georgia and into the Carolinas, we're expecting 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's later Sunday into Monday. This is only up until Sunday. For Tallahassee, from Sunday into Tuesday, we're expecting 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. So it's going to be a good rainmaker. And remember, some of our cities are still in a drought. So tomorrow, we are not expecting any rain. It's going to be partly cloudy, 78 degrees. Again, we'll have more cloud cover today, yet tomorrow than today because of that east wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The 7-day forecast shows you the rain chances do increase as we head into Sunday. The rain chances will be highest Sunday evening into early Monday morning. So that's when we're expecting most of the rain. However, we do keep the rain chances as we head into Monday and Tuesday. That's because that low pressure system staying nearby our areas, so that's why we're keeping the rain chances relatively in the moderate range. However, as we head into the middle part and the later part of the work week, it will clear out, and it's going to be pretty average for middle of April. But Sarah, how's the southeast looking?
Southeast is looking pretty nice, more north up in southeast region. They're seeing the more cooler temperatures since that weak front did pass through, bringing those temperatures down. But for South Florida, since that cold front is still lingering around Orlando area, they're still in the 80s. So it's still pretty hot down there currently right now. But hopefully with that cold front moving through, it will lower down these temperatures. And once that that stronger cold front moves through, these temperatures will decrease as well. Dew Point is pretty comfortable, not too muggy where you're swimming through the air, and not too dry where you need your chapstick at handy, but pretty comfortable all around. A little bit drier up north, but down up in Florida, we're still seeing 60s and 50s, mostly because we have that wind coming out from the east, bringing a lot of that moisture from the Atlantic. There's those winds coming out from the east. You can kind of see where that weak cold front is still sitting, where that convergence of these winds coming together in Orlando, but these winds are coming from the east. Pretty, not too crazy. It's a bit breezy out in Jacksonville, but pretty much calm, not too crazy out in further southeast, but that's why they're getting a lot of moisture. And if you look into the west, that's where you're going to see the next frontal system coming through. You can vaguely see these winds starting to come together. They're by right now Colorado and the Kansas area, but we won't really be seeing the effects of that cold front in the southeast until Saturday, where Arkansas will see that, and then until Sunday when we get into the Georgia area. Zooming out, there's where that cold front is sitting, starting to move its way into Kansas, bringing rain and building up of that mixture also in Wyoming and Colorado. This system will move into the area soon by the weekend time, so we'll have clear conditions by Saturday, and Saturday will be the best day, but then once we get into that evening time, that's when we're going to see the effects of that cold front. Here are these winds coming in. There you can see that cold front still sitting over by the Denver area, and once we put this into play mode, here's where we can see that cold front start to move. It's sitting right now in the Dallas area. There you can see that counterclockwise motion of that low, but it's starting to move pretty slowly as we get into the Arkansas area, bringing it right now into Mississippi. That's where we're going to be seeing in Alabama, and that's where we're going to be seeing that rain. And so that's really the big factor of this cold front is a lot of rain. So the severe weather is very marginal, so nothing too to worry about, since especially like last week we were seeing more severe weather. We were seeing into the slight and enhanced. So this is really meaning maybe we're going to be seeing some stronger winds and those rain. But for tonight, pretty much all in the 40s up north. So they're going to see those chillier temperatures. So make sure you have a jacket out there. But for Florida, we're seeing a bit more moderate, not too bad. Miami though at 72, so it's a little bit warmer down there. But for tonight, we will have a little bit more warmer temperatures out in the southeast. So all around in the 70s. South Florida is still seeing those 80 marks, so it's going to be pretty warm down there, so make sure you stay hydrated. But for now, I'm going to send it over to the desk with Margaret and Michael.
Thanks, Sarah. We have a lot of events, Margaret, as we head into these next few days.
It is a jam-packed weekend for events.
Yep.
You were talking about Relay for Life because a lot of members of our AMS chapter
Yep.
are down at the old IM fields right now getting set up for Relay for Life.
Yeah, I'm heading right there after the show, and it's a great event for the American Cancer Society. And again, it's not going to be as cold as last year, thank God.
A great way to make to raise money for cancer research, and a
Yep.
good social event too to get
Yeah.
a break in before this final studying commences as we're getting down the final stretch. And another event that FSU puts on at the end of April as a sort of last break before you really get into finals mode is the Spring Fling.
Yeah, they have carnival, free food, a lot of activities to do there in the Union. And that's also going to be the last major event at the Oglesby Union before they demolish it and remodel it. A lot of construction going on here at FSU. So
a lot of construction. I remember at the groundbreaking for the new Earth, Ocean, Atmospheric Sciences building, President Thrasher said that it was his goal to always have a crane on campus, and our building is coming along nicely, but the new Oglesby Union will be another construction project and another crane on campus for President Thrasher.
Yep, a lot of construction here at FSU. And then going into tomorrow's events, we have the circus finishing up Saturday evening, and then we also have the annual, weekly downtown market every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a great event.
And Lemoyne Arts Center is going to be having their art festival in the chain of parks with local and national vendors.
Yep.
So a lot of great stuff to get outside and do this weekend, especially tomorrow when it's going to be absolutely gorgeous, warm and sunny, but not too hot.
Yeah, not as hot as it was earlier this week, but for now, let's send it out to the wall with Parker.
Sorry.
Actually, you're sending it out to the wall.
Yes, I'm going out to the wall. I was about to jump in there. I was like, wait, I'm going out to the wall because we're talking about the national weather here and across much of the southeastern United States. It is nice and warm, comfortably warm right now. 68 in Atlanta, 71 in Memphis. Just nice, warm spring temperatures. But because it's spring, we still have low pressure systems with their cold fronts. And that's what's bringing the temperatures down in Denver and across the Rocky Mountains out in the west there. We'll take a look on our satellite and radar here now. You can see some of the snow as well as the rain and the counterclockwise spin on this low pressure system that is developing right now. It's going to be our next weather story for the coming weather next week. The dew points across the country, though, for the most part, are very dry. We've got all this light beige color across the country for those dry dew points. South Texas, a little bit higher dew points there, 53 in San Antonio, but most of the country is looking pretty dry. This right here up in the northeast is another low pressure system with that counterclockwise spin to it. This is what had our cold front that came through earlier this week and knocked our temperatures down just a smidgen, not too much. It's not too cold here. Sorry about that there, got a little bit caught on my words. Satellite and radar in the southwest, though, has a lot of snow across the Rocky Mountains and some rain as you get in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas and Nebraska. They are seeing a good amount of rain there, and we're going to zoom in down on New Mexico because this time last week, most of the state was covered in this hot pink, which is fire weather. Much of the state, extreme drought, strong winds, was at a very high risk for fires. But now with the northern half of the state getting that rain and snowfall, those are gone. And you see some of these lighter pinks and purples, that's winter weather advisories there across the northern parts of New Mexico. Now we're going to put this into motion here, and the low pressure system and the front that's going to develop with it will make their way across Texas and through the Mississippi River Valley into the southeast by Sunday evening. And that'll be bringing our rain here to the southeast in Tallahassee Sunday night into Monday morning, which will leave it for a nice rest of the week. But as we bring it back to tonight's forecast, cold across the northern half of the country, from Detroit where it's 34, Denver where it's 31. It's going to be nice and cool there as we get another one of our late spring cold snaps. And for tomorrow, Denver stays cool, only getting up to 49, but the rest of the country, really nice spring-like temperatures from 74 in Memphis, 50s in Chicago and Detroit. It's going to be a gorgeous spring day across much of the country, but now I'm going to hand things off to Sarah to bring things back locally.
Thanks, Margaret. So all around in the Big Bend area is pretty nice. We're in the 70s, not too shabby. So pretty nice temperatures. 73 in Quincy, 77 in Tallahassee, and 75 up in Bainbridge. So all around in the 70s. We did have that bit of a cool down since earlier we were in the 80s. So this is actually really nice outside, getting a break from those from the heat. Dew points are pretty comfortable, not too muggy out. 50 in Tallahassee, 48 in Quincy. These dew points didn't really change much since that weak cold front. Didn't really bring these dew points down, and plus we were seeing that wind from the east bringing in that moisture from the Atlantic. So these temperatures, these dew points will stay a bit moderate, but they will increase as that cold front will move through. Here's that cold front right now, sitting over by moving into the Kansas area. We won't be seeing the effects of this cold front until Sunday evening, but this cold front will slowly move into our area, bringing in a lot of rain. That's why you're seeing a little bit of these green. Those are flood watches over by the rivers down there. So it's going to bring a lot of rain, as Michael had that graphic of maybe seeing an inch, maybe some places seeing almost 2 inches of rain, but which is going to be really good for Georgia area since they're still under that drought. Here's the futurecast of the next 2 days. There's that cold front moving through, starting to build up with that rain chance, and you're going to see that rain a lot in Oklahoma and Dallas. But as we get into Saturday evening, that's when we're going to start, and Sunday evening, that's when we're going to start seeing that cloud build up. That's when we're going to start seeing that rain. So you will be fine going to church on Sunday morning, but if you have any evening plans, you will need your umbrella as you go out for your evening. For tonight, it's going to be pretty nice, not too hot, not too cold. So pretty moderate all around. 57 in Tallahassee, 54 in Quincy, 55 in Bainbridge. So all around in the 50s, so not too bad all around. Tomorrow, for the day planner, we'll start at 54, so a little bit warmer. But then we get to that 11 a.m., that's where we're going to warm up to 70. But then at 3 p.m., we'll be at 78. So it'll be a little bit warmer day than today, but make sure you stay hydrated, make sure you have your sunscreen if you do go out to any of the events that we were talking about. But it's going to be a really nice day, because then when we get to that Sunday evening, that's where we're going to see that rain. So if you have any plans, Chain of Parks Art Festival, it's going to be a pretty nice day. It's going to be a bit warm, so as I said, make sure you stay hydrated. It's going to be all weekend long. So they're going to have a lot of art vendors out there. So it's going to be a really nice day to go out, or even go to the res if you want to. Tomorrow is going to be pretty nice as well, all around, still in the 70s. Not really going to see much of a warm-up. 77 in Tallahassee, 78 in St. Mark's. Bainbridge, though, up there at 79, so they're starting to get a little bit more warmer. But if we get to the 7-day Sundays, we're going to be seeing that chance of rain into the evening and into the morning time. We'll do have a slight warm-up into Tuesday, but those temperatures will drop once that cold front moves through our area. But bringing the sunshine back, and the temperatures will stay in the mid to upper 70s, so not too bad. But I'm going to head over to the desk with Parker. We have some interesting weather to talk about, since we're not really seeing much interesting weather here at the moment.
Yeah, so Sarah, you talked about that severe weather threat on Sunday for us here in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
I have an interesting fact for you. So there have been fewer tornadoes in Oklahoma, or actually in the United States so far in 2018 than there have ever been.
Yeah, that's crazy, because Oklahoma is one of the top 3 states to have tornadoes. I know one of the statistics I read, in the month of April, their average tornadoes are 12, and they have seen none.
Zero.
So far.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
0 tornadoes for Oklahoma.
That's crazy.
So this could be setting a new record.
Yeah.
The record is actually April 26th, which is coming up next week. So if they surpass that day, then they will break the record for not having any tornadoes in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, and that record was made in 1962, so that was a while ago.
Yeah, that's 56 years
so
ago.
That's some interesting news, since they've usually been seeing that severe weather. But the reason why they're not really seeing that severe weather is they've been seeing some pretty more average on the colder temperatures, which means there's not a lot of moisture in the air. So that jet stream is pushing way down south, bringing in cooler temperatures and not a lot of moisture, which really builds these severe thunderstorms, which produces the tornadoes.
Yeah, so that's also the reason why, like, parts of the Midwest are really dry. So like into Texas, parts of even Arizona and New Mexico, you saw Albuquerque with a 7-degree dew point. That's really low.
Yeah.
So that lower level jet stream is just not bringing any humidity in.
Yeah, which is really bad for them since they're still under that drought and have fire watches. But also Kansas is another place. They have not seen tornadoes at all, and they usually average to 12 tornadoes for the month of April as well.
Yeah, that's also a pretty crazy statistic. So right now we're actually going to send things over to Michael at the wall.
Thanks, Sarah and Parker. I'm probably speaking for many people. Thank God it's been a quiet, severe weather season so far. But let's turn to Florida. You can see that we actually, because of that east wind here in Tallahassee, you're getting the same thing up towards Jacksonville and Gainesville. That's why it is much cooler compared to the rest of the state. 62 in Jacksonville and 67 in Gainesville. They were in the 80s Wednesday and Thursday, so much cooler up there. Very nice conditions across the Panhandle with the 70s, but again, ahead of that weak cold front, you're still in the 80s. 80 in Orlando, 81 in Tampa. Again, much cooler across Jacksonville and Gainesville because of that east wind. With the wind coming up the Atlantic, you're getting that cloud cover due to the moisture, and so you're not able to heat up that much in Jacksonville and Gainesville. Similar thing in Pensacola and Tallahassee, but that's due to the weak cold front that moved through yesterday. Ahead of the front, you're pretty similar to what you were this time yesterday with 2-degree temperature change in Tampa. Dew points relatively high as you go down towards Central Florida, the I-4 corridor, and then I-95 corridor in West Palm Beach and Miami. But lower dew points in Pensacola and Tallahassee compared to yesterday because of that weak cold front moving through. The winds, again, you can see why it's cooler up towards Jacksonville and Gainesville. It's because of that east wind. We're getting a similar story in Tallahassee. That will give us more cloud cover as we head into tomorrow. And we're getting some pretty breezy winds down towards Orlando with a 20-mile-per-hour winds right now. And again, it's pretty warm down towards Central and South Florida because that front hasn't really moved that much. You can see all the cloud cover in Gainesville and Jacksonville and around the first coast because of that east wind. That's why it was so cool today. But pretty clear in Central and Southern Florida. That's why it was very warm today across the Orlando and Tampa region. Futurecast shows you how the cloud cover lingers because of that east wind. It even causes some showers to form because of the moisture coming out the Atlantic. Then you get some showers forming ahead of this main line because of that cold front we've been talking about the entire show. That will move into Pensacola Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening, and then into Tallahassee overnight Sunday, very early Monday morning. Severe weather outlook for this front shows you we're not expecting a big severe weather threat, thank God, because it's been pretty high over these last few weeks in Mississippi and Alabama. We're only expecting a marginal threat, so isolated severe storm here or there, but pretty low for the severe weather threat. Tonight's forecast, warmer ahead of that very weak cold front, basically a stationary front now. 67 in Orlando, 69 in Tampa. Very pleasant conditions across the Panhandle. And for tomorrow, still cool across Jacksonville. Not as cool as today, but very warm down towards Southwest Florida. 90 in Fort Myers. But let's send it out to Parker with a final look of our local forecast.
Good. Yeah, so thanks, Michael. So tomorrow's forecast, we're going to be seeing temperatures that are going to be increasing throughout the day. Orlando here at 79, and my clicker is not working right now. All right, there we go. So we're going to look at this time lapse. Sorry for that, folks. This time lapse tomorrow, or actually today at 12:24, blue and sunny skies. Nothing really going on. A few clouds traveling through our area, and the sun is coming down right there. So currently it's 77 degrees in Tallahassee. It's partly cloudy outside. Winds out of the east at 9 miles per hour, cooling down those temperatures, maybe feeling more like 75 degrees instead of 77. So our dew points for the Big Bend region, 50 over here in Tallahassee in the state capital. Quincy up here at 48, and Apalachicola is actually at 57 right now, so they're a little bit higher. As you can see, this little bend right here, we have winds out of the east, so they're getting a little bit of moisture from that little peak in our peninsula state. Our winds are coming out of the east, as I just said. Tallahassee, 8 miles per hour. Northeast winds and eastern winds just dumping in. And there's this high pressure system that's off the coast of Florida right now, which is why we have this clockwise motion. And we do have winds moving down here. That's with that warm front that's moving back through into our area. Our forecast winds, look at that. What's going on right there? We got winds coming in from all different directions right now. And look, what is that, Pensacola? We got just winds coming in from east and from the west. That looks really funky right there. So as we move through into Saturday, the winds are going to pick up from the east and start going up. And you can see over towards Dallas, this counterclockwise rotation. That is our next frontal system that will be moving in through Sunday and into Monday morning. And it's going to continue to move over into Tallahassee on Sunday towards the evening hours around 6:30. This is when we're going to get our biggest chance of rain. So the futurecast for Saturday for the radar, we're going to pick up some more clouds, more than we did today. And it should be a pretty nice day. The sun's still going to be peeking out, but clouds are going to be in the area with a slight chance of rain. So tonight's forecast, 57 in Tallahassee, 54 in Quincy, and 60 in Apalachicola. So for much of the Big Bend region, our temperatures are going to be in the lower 60s to upper 50s. Tomorrow's forecast, we're not going to quite reach 80 degrees. 77 is going to be our high point, but winds out of the east at 5 to 10 miles per hour are going to make those temperatures feel even cooler than they are. So it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, and we're actually going to talk more about that at the desk with Michael.
Yeah, Parker. It's looking like a very good forecast for Saturday. Again, there's a 7-day forecast. We did have extra clouds on Saturday because of that east wind. But Sunday is the main weather threat with that cold front moving through.
Yeah, so a 60% chance of rain for Sunday, moving in through the nightly hours around 6:30. That's going to be our biggest chance.
Sunday evening, that's when the cold front basically is right into our region, and that's when we get the higher rain chances. It's like every Sunday we get some type of rain.
Yeah, that seems to be the trend the last 2 or 3 weekends. We're getting rain late weekend into Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday, we hold on to those rain chances because that low pressure system just hangs around our area for some reason. It decides to stay there, and then it will move up north as we head into later in the week. But look at Wednesday and Thursday, absolutely perfect for April.
Just gorgeous days to go outside and enjoy yourself. Walking to class should be really nice. You might not even sweat.
Oh yeah, like Wednesday and Thursday, we were well into the 80s, and I was already sweating it, and we haven't even gotten to summer yet. But don't forget to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU Weather.
And follow us, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
We are streaming right now on YouTube, and we do this every weeknight at 6 p.m. YouTube.com/FSU Weather.
Yep, and follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
Yeah, so again, the rain chances increase on Sunday because of that cold front. And again, we do need some of the rain. Some of our areas are still in a drought, so it's beneficial for a lot of the region. But for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Michael Onnen.
And I'm student meteorologist Parker Beasley. Have a great night.